Alright, lads and lasses, I'm Xcentric Racer. We are back on Forza 7 for another XFRS. Before we get started, I do want to apologise for these not being out as frequently, or basically my channel just uploading being all over the place. I do apologise for that. Anyway, we went racing with B-Class V8s. Race 1, we headed to Sonoma GP. But the recording corrupted, and I couldn't get the replay to work. So unfortunately, you're gonna have to miss out that race, which was a shame actually. I tried to go. I had a big dive bomb at the final corner of the final lap, and yeah, I didn't quite make it, and that dropped me out of the podium. Anyway, on to race 2. We headed to Daytona, the short layout. I had a Plymouth Armada, my favourite of the classic American muscle cars. It had about 500 horsepower and was actually decent through the corners, but very good down the straight. Into turn 1, I'm inside of an S4. The S4 gets a big tag from cars behind, gets spun around, unfortunately does collect some cars. Heading into the second big braking zone, I'm around the outside for 3 wide of a 242 and a HSV. I'm still stuck on the outside. I do tide the back of a Ferrari, of the pink and blue Ferrari. I do apologise there. Up ahead, a Plymouth Fury loses out a couple of positions, and BMW Z4 tried to go up the inside of me, couldn't quite do it. I then have a big throw up the inside of a Hot Wheels Corvette, and I do manage to keep it on the inside, and I managed to outrun the pair of the Corvette and the Fury into the second big braking zone. A lot of cars running wide. A Ram was making a nuisance of themselves, being very wide and difficult to overtake. I run very wide, going off the track. A Firebird tried to go around the outside of me, couldn't quite do it. Was tagging the Fury as well, and down the straight, my Hemi Cuda flew, easily breezing past a V8 Vantage. The V8 Vantage was the winner of race 1. And yeah, my car flew down the straight, sailed past the Esprit V8 and the Hot Wheels Corvette up ahead. I think that's an Impala, could be wrong. Went round the outside of the Ram on the banking. I then go up the inside of the Ram, off the banking, heading to the third corner, and the final banking corner. A Cobra went up the inside of the Ram, couldn't quite do it, tagged the door. The HSV missed their braking point, did run wide, however get a big twitch heading back onto the track. The Cobra tried to go around the outside of the Ram. I can barely see it. Oh look, there it is. The Ram had a lot of handling actually, so the Cobra couldn't quite, well, kept it alongside, but couldn't actually get the overtake through the corner, but would eventually out-accelerate that Ram before the next big braking zone. A middle 5 does a little bit of lawn trimming through the next sort of chicane. I don't know. You can see the Cobra diving on the brakes. Yeah, that was on stock suspension. Gets a big slide out that corner, however does overtake the Renault 5. Forgive me, I can't remember my flags. Anyway, tried to go round the outside of a 242, couldn't quite do it. The Renault 5 tried fighting back, but doesn't quite have the top end of this Cobra, and neither does the Volvo. The Volvo will just run out of speed compared to this Cobra just before the banking. Another car that was very quick down the straight was this White Falcon. Went up the inside of the Esprit and the Corvette on the banking. I had a little bit more of an off, a little bit further back. Oh, there's my car there. However, me and this Falcon outran just a big group of cars here heading on to the next lap. The Aston Martin was very good through the corners. Was you can see, just gives a hurry up bump to the Falcon. I get a little bit tagged, tried to save it, but I sim steered. Thankfully though, I did manage to spin off the road, and cars did do a good job of avoiding me. The Aston got it alongside the Falcon, but the Falcon would just accelerate heading into the next corner, so the Aston just couldn't quite get the position, and the White Falcon was able to make a nuisance of themselves, park it on the lines that the Aston wanted to take, and yeah, when you've got a long straight, especially one as long as Daytona's, handling cars will very much struggle. The Aston does get out the inside through the right-hander, but it's going to be stuck on the outside for the left-hander. He's going to be momentarily ahead, but is just going to lose out compared to this Falcon. Yeah, the Falcon was just very quick down the straight. The Renault 5 had a good acceleration, but just ran out of top end. A Carlton would sail past before they headed onto the banking. A Corvette would also do the same. The Carlton goes around the outside of the Ram, and you could just see the Renault 5 is just slowly slipping back through the field. The S4 that's got span out on lap 1, yep, that was up the inside and just sailed past this Renault 5 as well. Coming into the first braking zone, I tried to go up the inside of an Esprit, couldn't quite do it. The Plymouth Fury tried to go around near me, the Audi outside of me, but couldn't quite do it. The Renault 5 was just in a little bit of no man's land at the minute. The Esprit though would be quite good on the brakes. The Renault 5 gets a big slide coming out of the first right-hander. That's going to allow the Esprit to catch up, and heading into the shorter part, the S4 is trying to find their way past the Ram, couldn't quite do it. The Esprit is all over the back bumper of this Renault 5, and I'm also all over the back bumper of that Esprit. The Renault is trying to find a way past the S4. The Esprit gets a little bit of a twitch under brakes, and that forces me onto the grass. I do a bit of a dodgy rejoin, I will admit. The Renault 5 goes round the outside of the S4. The Esprit couldn't quite get past the S4. However, you've seen the speed of the S4 compared to the Renault 5, and it wouldn't be too long before that S4 was starting to reel the Renault 5 back in, and yeah, through the banking would go very much on the inside and would get the position back on the Renault 5. The 53 Corvette was trying to find their way past the Esprit, but actually ran out of top speed because it only had 2 gears. Yeah, only had 2 gears, so it actually topped out at 140, and that just made it easy pickings for us more power orientated cars. I'm back in the fight, trying to find a way past the Renault 5. I'll go for a big move up the inside. They'd left me space. The Esprit runs very wide, goes across the grass. The 53 Corvette does a big dive bomb onto the Renault 5. Up ahead, I'm trying to find my way past a Z4, a white one. Renault 5 had a sniff up the inside of the Corvette. The Corvette outbraked themselves a little bit, does give them room. Out through the next corner, the Corvette does actually manage to get it stopped, so it's still going to be on the inside through the next corner. And the Renault 5 can't outrun it just yet, and it's going to be on the outside. At the front, and the Cadillac, the grey one, and the Impala were chasing down. Yep, a Volvo SUV. The Volvo SUV led for quite a while, but would just get out accelerated by the pair of these cars. Both the Cadillac, I think that's a CTSV, I could be wrong, and a old Impala heading through turn 1, and yet they were just gone. Ferrari, that had a little bit of a unfortunate race, was fighting their way back through the field. I think went on the outside of a Renault 5 and then threw it through and then threaded the needle to go up the inside of the Corvette. The Esprit would also get the inside of that Corvette heading into turn 1 and would keep the position. The Ferraris then having to find a way past the Ram. I'm forgetting me wording. A Hot Wheels Corvette had a little bit of an issue further up. The Ferrari was trying to go around the outside of the Ram, couldn't quite do it. That Ram did have a lot of handling, like I said before. So the F3, the 355 couldn't quite find a way past. However, it's going to be on the inside through the next couple of corners and is going to finally get the position on that Ram. However, the Corvette is going to be fighting back as well. It's going to be on the inside for the left-hander hairpin, and the Ferrari would just run out a little bit of grip, would use the runoff, and the Ram would lose the position for, well, against, well, sorry, the Ram would gain the position against this Ferrari. At the front, the CTSV would go on to take the win. After overtaking the Volvo SUV, I'm mighty impressed how well that Volvo did. It just had a lot of top end, so the two cars further back couldn't quite do a thing. Speaking about the Ferrari, was chasing down the Ram, would be on the outside, and there's the finish line there, are heading on to the cooldown lap, and would just get the position back against that Ram. That was a close finish. It wasn't really a photo finish, but it was pretty close, I'll tell you that much. Final race, and we headed to Suzuka. Yeah. In the turn 1, there was a little bit of a collision. Me and the Audi S4 got forced wide, however, wasn't too big of a crash, and we all managed to file our way through. We're following the Hot Wheels Corvette that is trying to find their way past a Volvo 242, is having a check up against the 53 Corvette and the Fury. Unfortunately, there was a big connecting together of a lot of cars there. The 53 Corvette getting off the worst of the little group, and Hot Wheels Corvette getting off the best, and would have to start doing a recovery drive, trying to find the way past the Z4. The Colton would go across the gravel and would lose a couple of positions and almost lost 3 to that V8 Vantage with a lot of handling, but managed to stay ahead of that car. Heading into the left hairpin, and you can see the Audi S4 is having to defend from that Colton. The Colton, though, gets a better run out the corner and would overtake that Audi. The Cobra was also trying to find a way past that S4, but wasn't quite able to at the minute. Heading up to Spoon, the Cobra, though, would actually get the position on the S4. The Ram was again making a nuisance. The 242 would do a good move up the inside of the Ram, would get that position to stick, would out accelerate, and would also accelerate a HSV. I absolutely blitzed past the Ram. I would be up the inside of the HSV, get the position to stick. The Ram runs a little bit wide, however, does keep their positions from cars better further back. The Volvo would do a good dive up the inside, however, it's going to be on the outside. The HSV has a little bit of an issue. Heading onto the final corner, is going to wait for a gap. That's good sportsmanship there, and not just a bunch of ignorance. The Impala absolutely flew down the start-finish straight, would get past this Ram and the Porsche heading into turn 1. However, the Porsche has got more handling, so it's going to be able to keep it round the outside through turn 1 and keep that position against the Impala. The CTSV, that won race 2, was also up the inside of this Ram. Would be on the outside for the first part of the S's, however, would get that position through the second part. Have a little bit of a tag. The Cadillac, I think, runs... Well, just gets a barrel of understeer. But I think they managed to keep it on the track. The Aston Martin that collected the... That got unfortunate on race 1 was having to defend their position from the 53 Corvette. The Aston Martin actually did like the first part, not so much the second part of Suzuka. Was currently chasing down the S4. The S4 is having to go defensive through the right-hander there underneath the bridge. The 53 Corvette is trying to find the way past. The V8 Vantage is going to be on the inside through the hairpin. However, the Aston Martin has just got such good brakes. Actually, the Corvette gives a little bit of a hurry-up bump to the Aston Martin. The Aston Martin gets ahead of the S4. The Corvette manages to get a position against that 53 Corvette. Both of them, though, excuse me, couldn't quite get past the S4. The Renault 5 was liking this track a little bit more. Was having to find the way past the 355 and my Hemi Cuda. The Hemi Cuda did like it here. The Renault 5 would accelerate the 355. The 355 tried to go up the inside through 130R. They get a little bit connected together. However, the 355 just would only lose one position. The Volvo, yep, that was marching through the field. Would be up the inside of this Renault 5. A little bit of door banging. But they do manage to keep it on the road. The Volvo, it's not often you say of an SUV. Yeah, that SUV was bloody quick in this field. It really was. Like I said, kudos to that Volvo. It really was good. And the driver as well. It was well done. The 355 was going to make a good move up the inside of the Renault 5. The Renault 5 is going to get a big slide through the first part of the S's. And then the Ferrari is going to follow suit by getting a big slide through the second part. However, the Ferrari still got the position against the Renault 5. The Renault 5 is going to get a slide through the third section. Does get a small slide through the fourth section. The Ferrari doesn't this time. And through the fifth section, yeah, it's going to get a smidge of a slide. However, isn't going to lose too much time. The 242 was, I think this was sort of lowish mid-pack. I was trying to find their way past a CTSV whilst having to defend from the Carlton. It's a difficult position to be in if you're having to defend and attack at the same time. The Volvo, well, the Cadillac would just defend from the Volvo. However, the Volvo, with its better handling, would be able to still find a gap up the inside at that hairpin and would get the position to stick going round the outside through the sweeping right-handers. The Cadillac would get a bit of a slide and the Carlton would get the position, and at Spoon the Volvo was having to defend by being on the outside of the Carlton, keeps the position momentarily. However, the Carlton is just going to outrun it heading down to 130R. However, not too convincingly. The Cadillac is also trying to follow suit, and the Ford Falcon as well is going to be on the inside of a 3 wide through 130R. They all manage to keep it just about on the road. The Volvo was hung wide to dry, but with its better cornering, didn't matter too much. Would regain both positions, even with a slight tag, heading on to the final corner down the start-finish straight. But the Volvo, with its lack of top end, would just get mugged by both the cars. The Falcon, and then a little bit later, the Cadillac. However, the Cadillac couldn't quite finish the move. And the Volvo would still be stuck on the outside, but eventually would just run out of grip, and the Cadillac would get that position to stick. And through the S's, the Cadillac gets a bit of a slide. The Volvo is right on the rear bumper. Both of them run very wide. The V8 Vantage that's got a lot of handling. Like I said, really like this first section. I had a bit of a look around the outside of the final S. Couldn't quite do it. It's going to be on the inside for the next part. Renault 5, unfortunately, just went across the gravel. Just got a very bad run. The V8 Vantage is going to be on the inside, heading into the right-hander underneath the bridge. And would get the position against the 242. The Cobra would get the position, would thread the needle between the V8 Vantage and the 242. Gets a bit of a slide as well, slotting into the gap. But the Volvo tried to go up the inside, heading out of the hairpin, however couldn't quite do it. And yeah, just would end up losing that position to the Cobra. That was on standard suspension and very, very difficult to drive. Through the final part of Spoon though, the Volvo would be on the inside, but doesn't have the acceleration to get that move to stick against the Cobra. The Carlton was staring at the back of a Falcon, would try and go around the outside of the F355 through 130R. It's still going to be... It's going to keep the car alongside. However, that Ferrari is just really good on the brakes and would defend successfully from the Carlton. Further back, the V8 Vantage is trying to go up the inside of that Cadillac CTS-V. However, wouldn't quite get the position to stick. The Cadillac would just inevitably outrun like this Carlton to the F355. The F355 just doesn't have the top end of that Carlton. However, does have the handling. I think they get a little bit connected together, and unfortunately would get connected with the Cadillac and the I've forgotten now. V8 Vantage. Yeah, that's it. The S4, whilst the Ferrari rejoined the track, would lose a few positions and was now having to claw their way back past a Audi S4. The S4 having good straight line speed, the Ferrari having very good handling. The Ferrari is going to be up the inside of the S4. However, the S4 is going to be on the inside through the next two right-handers. The Ferrari is just going to back out from it. The Ferrari does a big dive across the curb. It's going to get a big slide heading out of that corner though, and isn't going to be able to get the position from the S4. The Volvo just missed the back of the S4. I'm pretty sure there was small sparks there. I could be wrong. At the front, a BMW absolutely ran away. This a M3? I don't know. It's late and I'm tired. Yeah, started at the front, ran away. Completely ran away. I was in the background. You probably saw. I was 9 seconds behind at BMW. The Ram, yeah, would get another close finish. Lost positions to the Esprit and the Cadillac. Hot Wheels Corvette was sort of joining this four car battle. The Ram would be on the outside of the Cadillac, get the position against that car. The Corvette tried to go around the outside of the Cadillac through the final corner, couldn't quite do it, and the Cadillac with its superior straight line speed would also outrun this Ram to the line. That Ram had two very close finishes with two completely different cars. So, there you are. I hope you enjoyed. I do apologise for the commentary, was a little bit... yeah, it's been too long, to be honest. I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. I do apologise again for the lack of content in general, but more specifically Forza 7. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, hit the unreliable notification bell. About as reliable as my uploading. If you want to take part in these, first link will be to the Discord where this event is taking place. The second link will be my Discord in case you want to say hello to me. It's up to you. Anyway, that is it from me. Until next time, ciao for now.